Good morning, students. Today I am going to explain other topics of chapter 2 is matter around us pure. Already I have discussed in my previous videos about elements, compound, mixture, different types of mixture like solution, suspension and colloid. In this video I am going to explain the various methods which are used to separate the components of a mixture. So first thing, there are various methods, one by one I will explain. So first thing is, why do we need to separate the components of a mixture? ज़रूरत क्या है हमें separate करने की? Actually the methods of separation are used to get individual components from a mixture, and individual components, when we know about individual components, we separate these components for our further study to know the nature of that components. So there are various methods to separate the components of a mixture. Now suppose if the mixture is a heterogeneous mixture, many mixtures can be the components of many mixtures can be separated by simple physical methods which you must have seen in your house also, like hand picking, sieving, filtration, winnowing, etc. Have you seen in your home, like when your mother or somebody brought pulses or rice, if there are few small stones, then what we do, we separate these stones by hand picking. Or suppose I have bought groundnuts and there are few what to say, bad groundnuts are there, or the spoiled groundnuts, spoiled pieces are there. So what we do, we just separate it by hand picking. Similarly, suppose we have bought maida or suji, rava, something, and if there are some small insects inside it, how do we separate it? We separate it by sieving. So there are various methods which we also use in our day-to-day life. Here we are going to explain. Here I am going to explain some methods which are used in factories, industries, or in laboratories, etc. One by one I will explain these methods. There are various methods. First I would like to say the different types of method. It is evaporation, centrifugation using separating funnel, sublimation, then this distillation, chromatography, fractional distillation and crystallization. These many methods I am going to explain. Though these methods are given in your textbook, but there are other methods also which we use or which our industries are using nowadays, but only these methods I am going to explain here one by one. First method is evaporation. What is this method, evaporation? This method is used method is used for separating a solid substance which is dissolved in a liquid. The solution is heated on a double boiler or sand bath or water bath, and the liquid evaporates and the solid substance remains behind. I take a simple example. Suppose I have sugar or salt dissolved in water. So what we do, even in the we keep this mixture on a double boiler, we heat this solution. After some time the water evaporates and the salt or sugar remains on the plate or on the vessels. This method is commonly used in the extraction of salt from seawater or salt water. What happens actually, common salt is present in seawater. It is collected in large shallow ponds, or we call it salt pan, and left in the sun for some days. Water is evaporated automatically and the common salt is left behind on the salt pan. Further, it is refined also, purified also, but this is the main function to separate the salt from seawater. You must have seen, if you visit from Ahmedabad to Mundra, you will see lots of salt pan beside our way. There are lots of salt pans which are used to separate salt from seawater. So we can give example of this evaporation: separating salt from seawater, separating sugar or any dissolvable substance from water. So this is the evaporation method. Water gets evaporated and the solid substance left behind, and we can separate the solid from the water. Now second method is centrifugation. From this, one more thing, from evaporation method we can separate different color components from blue or black ink. It is given as an activity in your textbook. Suppose in a watch glass is just a small small plate made up of glass का एक छोटा सा plate होता है approximately this way. So what we do, I will explain with the diagram which is given in your textbook. You can see this is a beaker which is filled with water, and this is a watch glass in which black or blue ink is kept, and we start boiling this beaker. We do not boil the watch glass directly, otherwise it may break. So we start boiling this beaker. From this, when this ink kept on the watch glass becomes hot, the water present in the ink evaporates and we get solid ink, dried ink, which is black color or blue color. So evaporation is also used to separate blue or black ink from water. Now the second method is centrifugation. Now what is this centrifugation method? Centrifugation, in this method, actually this method is based on the principle that when a mixture containing very small particles is rotated at a high speed, the lighter particles come on the surface and the heavier particles settle down. I repeat this method: when a mixture which consists of components of various or different densities are rotated at a high speed, the lighter particles comes on the surface and the heavier particles settle down. This centrifugation method is used, everyone must be knowing. If you are having a washing machine in your house, then you can see the clothes are washed by moving it, by rotating it fast. When the washing machine rotates the cloths, actually the heavier particles, when they wash the cloths, heavier particles like water, it settle down when they have to separate the water molecules from the cloths, and the cloths rotates and it comes on the top. This method is also used to separate cream from the milk. Nowadays we get milk of different varieties like full cream milk, single tone, double tone, without fat, etc. So how do they do this? Actually the same method, centrifugation method, is used to separate cream from the milk. Cream being the lighter particles, when it is rotated, when the milk is rotated, the cream comes on the surface and the milk settle down. The same method is used to separate butter from buttermilk. Butter is the lighter particles, it comes on the top surface and the buttermilk is left behind on the bottom. So this method is used to separate lighter and denser particles by rotating the mixture with high speed. Then examples we can write. Okay, this method is also used in the laboratory to separate various components present in the blood. We know inside our blood there are various components like hemoglobin is there, RBC is there, WBC, platelets are there. So to separate, we can give example: separate various components from the blood. Second, separate cream from milk. Separate water from cloths in washing machine. So centrifugation method is used to separate all these things. There are other examples also which can be given under this category. Now third method is using separating funnel. This is a very simple method. In this method also, the components of a mixture are separated on the basis of their densities. The substance which is high density will will come down. The substance or the component which has low density will come on the top. This is a separating funnel. What happens actually, suppose there is a mixture of cooking oil and water. Now we want to separate oil and water. So what we do, we use a separating funnel. In a separating funnel, we put this mixture. I'll show you how it works. I'll show you the diagram given in your textbook. This is the separating funnel. Suppose in this separating funnel, here it is given kerosene oil and water. So in the separating funnel, the mixture is kept. This separating funnel has a cork, or just to lock it, and there is a stop cork. When we open this stop cork, the liquid will pass through this point, and when we close it, the liquid will not pass through. So suppose there is a different color also. Kerosene oil is different color than water. So and this is a transparent. So we can see till here it is water, till here it is kerosene oil. So we will open the stop cork. We'll keep one vessel here, and we will open this stop cork, and the water will come through this. As soon as the water level will be here, we will stop the stop cork and will remove the vessel. Then again we'll keep another vessel, and the kerosene oil will come down. So by using a separating funnel, we can separate various liquids which have different densities. Now listen, this method to separate the components by this method, it's not exactly that we always use this type of separating funnel. For example, in a iron furnace where we get iron, this method is also used in an iron furnace. What happens actually there? During extraction of iron in a blast furnace, two separate layers are formed. One is of slag and the other is of molten iron. The molten iron is the heavier, so it forms the lower layer, and the molten slag forms the upper layer. These two layers are removed through separate holes in the furnace. So there also actually we are doing the same thing. The heavier particles, which is molten iron, it comes down, and the lighter particles, that is molten slag, comes on the top, and we separate these two components. Now I'll give the example. First example, we can write kerosene oil and water. Yeah, cooking oil and water are separated through this method, separating funnel. Then molten iron from its slag. Now next method I'm going to explain is sublimation. You must be knowing the process sublimation. What actually occurs here, I explain this. This sublimation method is used to separate the solids from their mixtures, which directly pass to the vapor state on heating without passing through the liquid state. Sublimation, sublimation is the process in which solid converts into gaseous state without converting into liquid. So in this method, one component should be sublimate, which converts from solid to gaseous state. I explain this method by showing the example which are given in your textbook. See, this is the method which shows the separation of volatile substance and non-volatile substance. Here the example is taken ammonium chloride and salt. A mixture of ammonium chloride and salt is taken on a china dish. China dish is kind of watch glass, you can understand, and this is heated with the help of a spirit lamp. Inverted funnel is kept on this china dish. At the end of the inverted funnel there is cotton plug, so that the vapor does not come out through this inverted funnel. When we start heating this inverted funnel, because the ammonium chloride is volatile substance, is sublimate, it converts from solid to gaseous state, and salt remains on the china dish. It converts into ammonium chloride converts into gaseous state, and then after touching the inner wall of the inverted funnel, it cools down and it's again solidified. So here it is given solidified ammonium chloride. This is vapor of ammonium chloride. It comes in contact with the wall of the funnel and it cools down. After cooling, it converts into solid ammonium chloride. So we will get solid ammonium chloride on the wall of this funnel, and the salt will remain on the china dish. This method is always used to separate volatile substance or sublimate substance from non-volatile substance. So the example we can write here is ammonium chloride and salt. Ammonium chloride is separated from the mixture of ammonium chloride and salt by the method of sublimation. Now next I am going to explain next method. I would also like to give some other example of sublimation method. The components which can be separated from this sublimation method are like camphor, kapoor, naphthalene, then anthracene, benzoic acid, iodine, etc. These are volatile substances, these are sublimates. So these all substance can be obtained from its mixture by the method of sublimation. Now I am going to explain another method, that is chromatography. This is I think fourth method. Now I am going to explain fifth method, chromatography. One or two method I will also explain extra, which are not given in your textbook. First I am going to explain this method, chromatography. Chromatography is the method of separation of different components of a mixture based upon their different solubilities in the same solvent. Or we can say this is a modern method, and it is used for separation of mixture into their components and to test the purity of the components. This is used to separate various colors dissolved in the same solvent. The name chromatography is based on a Greek word chroma. Chroma means color. What I am saying, chroma, it means color. So this graphy means writing. So when various colors are mixed in a mixture, in a solution, these various colors are separated by chromatography. You will be surprised to know, you must have seen different types of printing, like which is famous in Gujarat, Rajasthan, this tie and dye method to make the pattern on the cloth. This tie and dye method is based on the method chromatography. I will explain how it occurs actually. In this method, what is done, I am showing one this diagram again, so that you I think this one. Suppose we take a filter paper and we mark a line with the pencil or with a pen, and we put here a drop of ink which consists of more than two or more than two colors. We drop here ink, and then when it becomes dry after some time, we take a jar, and inside the jar we put some water, and then we put the filter paper in this water. When the water rises, the colors dissolve in the ink also rises along with the water to the filter paper. जैसे जैसे water ऊपर rise होगा, जो colors mixed हैं इस ink में, they will also rise. So if there are 3 or 4 colors, actually this rise of color depend upon the solubility of the color. The color which is more soluble in water will rise faster, and the color which is less soluble in water will rise slower. I give example. Suppose 2 colors I am taking, one is red and one is blue. Suppose red is more soluble in water than blue. So what will happen? The red will rise faster. Suppose red comes until here. Suppose because I have used blue, so suppose the blue color comes here, because it is more soluble, so it will rise faster, and the suppose red is less soluble, so what will happen? The red color will rise up to here only. So and suppose then there is black color. Black is less soluble than blue and red, so black will come here. So we can see there are different colors which we can obtain on this filter paper. So I repeat, the process of separation of components of a mixture is known as chromatography. Actually, chromatography is the technique which is used for separation of various solutes which are dissolved in the same solvent. Here the solvent is water. Actually, this method is used to separate color in a dye, as I said. This is also used to separate pigment from natural colors. This is also used to separate various drugs from the blood. So examples we can write: various colors from the same solvent, then drugs from the blood, then colors in a dye, pigments from natural color. What are pigments in a natural color? Application of chromatography is tie and dye. Dye method to make print on cloths, etc. Now, after chromatography, I am going to explain another method, which is, though it is not given here, but I just want to write here: magnetic separation. Magnetic separation. This method is not given in your textbook, but this one is easy method, so you can understand this. Magnetic separation, this method is based on the property of iron or any magnetic material to get attracted by magnet. All of us know that magnet attracts iron. There are other magnetic material also, like nickel and cobalt. These are also attracted by magnet. The mixture in which one component is magnetic in nature can be separated out by this mixture. Suppose example, I have a mixture of iron and sulfur. Mixture of iron and sulfur. Previous video I have explained iron filings and sulfur powder are mixed together, and suppose we want to separate them, then we will bring a iron, we will bring a magnet, either bar magnet or ring magnet or horseshoe magnet, and we'll bring this magnet with this close to this mixture. The iron filings, being the magnetic material, will get attracted toward the magnet, and this iron will get separated from the sulfur powder. Then another method to separate the component of mixture is distillation. Yeah, this method is important: distillation and fractional distillation. What occurs in distillation method? Now we have seen the separation of two liquid which are not miscible, जो एक दूसरे में mix नहीं होते हैं. So these two liquids are separated by separating funnel. But what will happen if the two or more liquids are non miscible, that means they are miscible, sorry, they are miscible, that means they can mix with each other. Like suppose alcohol and water, they mix with each other because being the density is the same. And other things like acetone and water, they have also same density, so they mixed up. So how we are going to separate the components of liquid which are miscible with each other? I will explain this with the diagram which is given here. Just see. Suppose this is the setup, simple setup. A round bottom flask or distillation flask is there. We take the mixture here, either it is here it is given acetone and water, we can take alcohol and water also. This is the clamp to hold this distillation flask. This is the spirit lamp to heat the flask. One thermometer is given here to check the temperature of the liquid. Then this part is the condenser. Actually it condenses the vapor which comes through it. Inside this water condenser there is a pipe through which cold water goes inside here, and after coming in contact with this condenser, the hot water outlet is here. So the cold water goes through this pipe and hot water comes through this, and after condensing the liquid gets collected here in the beaker. So I explained the process. This is the setup. When we start heating this mixture, before that I would like to explain that this method is used to separate the component of a liquid whose boiling point is more than 20, whose difference in boiling point is more than 25 degree. That means what does it mean? Suppose I have taken the mixture acetone and water here. तो एसीटोन का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट और वाटर का जो बॉइलिंग पॉइंट है, दोनों के बॉइलिंग पॉइंट में 25 डिग्री से ज़्यादा, 25 केल्विन से ज़्यादा का डिफरेंस होना चाहिए. वी नो वाटर का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 100 डिग्री है और एसीटोन का बॉइलिंग पॉइंट अराउंड 70 या 65 के आसपास है. तो इवन लेस देन दैट एक्चुअली. एसीटोन is like when we keep on our palm, after few seconds, few minutes, it evaporates. So I think it must be 40-45 डिग्री सेल्सियस. सो इन दोनों के मिक्सचर को हमने एक डिस्टिलेशन फ्लास्क में रखा एंड वी स्टार्ट हीटिंग दिस. तो द कंपोनेंट विच हैज लोअर बॉइलिंग पॉइंट, सपोज इसका बॉइलिंग पॉइंट 50 डिग्री है, तो एज सुन एज द टेम्परेचर ऑफ द मिक्सचर विल बिकम 50 डिग्री, द कंपोनेंट दिस एसीटोन will convert into vapor. This acetone in vapor form will pass through this water condenser because there is cold water surrounding this pipe through which the vapor is passing. So when the vapor comes in contact with the cold water, it condenses from gaseous state to liquid state, and then we get the acetone in liquid form in a beaker. Now we continue to heat the substance, this mixture, and suppose there are 2 or 3 components are there. One gets separated, one's boiling point is 40 degree, other is 80 degree, then next one is 120 degree. So as soon as the boiling point will reach, the component will convert into vapor, it will pass through the water condenser, and after passing through while passing through the condenser, it will condense into the liquid form, and this liquid will be collected in the beaker. So we can separate various liquid which has different boiling point. So this method is known as distillation method. This method is actually used to separate 2 or more volatile substance or one non-volatile solid from a volatile liquid, etc. Suppose there is a non-volatile substance जो convert नहीं होता है गैस में, that will remain behind here, and the volatile substance we will get in the beaker. Or there are 2 or 3 liquids which converts into vapor, so one by one we will separate the components. So this is the method of distillation. Now I will explain method of fractional distillation, and I think 2 methods are remain. method of fractional distillation and yes, crystallization. So these two methods I'm going to explain in the next video. Today in this video I have explained only these methods. So please go through this video, watch this video carefully and make notes. Thank you.